Hello everyone, this is Peter Hall.
My name is Josh Hall.
We're the Media Maniacs because we'll review anything under the sun. Today we're going to be talking about the Space Jam 2 movie. A bunch of people hate this movie, and I think the biggest reasons for it are they see it as like an assault on their childhood nostalgia of the original Space Jam. And also because LeBron James, he's kind of an idiot, and he's a stooge for the Chinese Communist Party. But, so that's why most people hate this movie, and that's why it's getting such bad reviews. We watched it on HBO Max, and I actually thought it was pretty good. I didn't watch it for LeBron James. I watched it for the Looney Tunes. I didn't watch the first one from Michael Jordan. I watched it for the Looney Tunes.
I think Michael Jordan has more charm than LeBron James. Yeah, in the Space Jam movies, anyway.
Yeah, get in. So anyway,
I think the first Space Jam's a lot better. However, I don't understand all the hatred that Space Jam's 2 is getting.
yeah, my favorite parts in this movie were the parts about how like the various Looney Tune characters.
That was my favorite part too.
Yeah, they ended up in like different parts of the so-called Warnerverse, like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner were in Mad Max Fury Road, and Nasty Canasta, the bandit that Daffy Duck and Porky Pig and Bugs Bunny have faced up against from time to time. He took the place of Tom Hardy's Mad Max. He was the blood bag on the what are those guys in Mad Max? The ones driving the cars.
The Valkyrie Warriors.
Yeah, he was the human
The
blood
Valhalla
bag
Warriors.
that Tom Hardy was in the Mad Max movie. Nasty Canasta was the human blood bag on the Road Warriors cars.
He barely even features in the movie, so it's really not worth mentioning.
Yeah, but you could see him in that scene. He took Tom Hardy's place. But yeah, after that he's really not seen. Also, the difference between one of the biggest differences between this movie and the original is that Michael Jordan's character was kind of like an afterthought for the villains, because they only wanted the Looney Tunes, and then like after he showed off his skill as a basketball player, then Mr. Swackhammer decided that he wanted to include Michael Jordan on his demands list. But in the new movie, the villain, an AI named Algae Rhythm, decides to kidnap him straight out, and it's because like
That's kind of okay. I know that both Space Jam movies are corporate commercials just to sell basketball and Nike. I mean, but it kind of felt contrived that the algorithm starts off the movie by targeting LeBron James's son. It kind of feels contrived that he entices him into the video game world.
well, actually he doesn't even like, he only kidnaps him because like he brings him to that meeting where he pitches this idea to have LeBron James like be a headliner for every part of like the Warnerverse or whatever, Warner 3000, and he's gonna like take the place of Harry Potter in the Harry Potter movies, and he's gonna be in all these different franchises. And LeBron James shoots the idea down and says that it's stupid, and then he says that like as an athletes should only stick to like the sports that they play, and they really shouldn't do anything else. So that's kind of funny. Character LeBron James is more humble than real LeBron James. That's pretty funny. More humble than real. Real.
Yeah, but the movie felt more contrived than the original.
They were both contrived. I mean, I will grant you that they gave the Nerdwalks more character than like the Goon Squad in this movie. The Goon Squads were.
I kind of like how in the original, the Looney Tunes world is in the center of the earth.
Yeah,
But
and this it's just like it's in like a huge data server room. But it was cool seeing like the Looney Tunes and all the different like IP properties or franchises like
And the basketball.
Elmer Fudd and Sylvester.
yeah, that was one of my favorite
Elmer
parts.
Fudd was like
Mini-Me.
Mini-Me in Austin Powers. He was Mini-Me, and Sylvester was Mr. Bigglesworth. That was pretty funny. And then there was like this Foghorn Leghorn was. I've never seen the Game of Thrones show, but Foghorn Leghorn was Daenerys in Game of Thrones, and he had like on her dress and long blonde flowing hair. And he's like, "Winter is coming," and he's flying on a dragon. So that's all you see of like what he was doing in like
The
Westeros.
basketball antics. Okay, I didn't think the basketball antics were nearly as enjoyable in the sequel as I felt that they were in the original. I did enjoy the part where Gossamer like soaks up Wetfire with his pinky, and then Sylvester.
Yeah,
like,
but that was temporary because Wetfire comes back. But that part was funny.
Yeah. I got more enjoyment out of like watching Warner Brothers' various superheroes and and supervillains.
Granny and like Speedy Gonzalez were in the Matrix. That was pretty funny.
Like, I got more enjoyment out of watching, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze, Danny DeVito's Penguin.
But it wasn't even Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It was his likeness. It was their likeness.
Yeah.
I know that they weren't really there, but it was their computer-generated likeness, so I'm going to refer... And, Jack Nicholson's Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, The Mask,
Yeah.
the Riddler. I got a lot of enjoyment out of seeing, like, all these characters from, like, different franchises, like, going, "Rah!" like, cheering and getting outraged, like, cheering when ever the Goon Squad scored a point, or, like, booing whenever they didn't. Like, it was more fun watching the background than watching the basketball antics.
Oh, come on,
the
I
court.
like the basketball antics. Like when Granny made Kronos, the robotic
That was a good scene.
clock guy that could control time into an old man. Yeah, that was pretty funny. And then like the scene where like Wile E. Coyote brings out that ball shooter and then like uses it to score like a bunch of points to tie them for the game, and he ends up like a whole bunch of copies of himself end up going through the hoop because he gets sucked into the machine. That was
wasn't
funny.
nearly as fun watching after the Looney Tunes and LeBron win the game. Wasn't nearly as much fun watching the Goon Squad and Algae Rhythm disappear as it was watching the Nerdlucks tie their boss to a rocket and send him to the moon.
Yeah, that part in the original was funny. They sent Mr. Swackhammer back to Moron Mountain.
To the moon.
Yeah, they put him in like a makeshift rocket. They just slap like a bunch of stuff on him and send him flying off into space. That part was funnier because when the basketball game here is over, like everybody just like zaps out of the phones because like Algae Rhythm abducts like pretty much the entire world. Anybody who's on their cell phone and is looking at like the live stream of the basketball game between like LeBron James and his son in the movie
That's
Dom.
actually pretty good commentary about where we are.
Yeah, he abducts everybody who's like on their phone and like takes them hostage to watch the game. And then, like after that, everybody just gets zapped back out into the real world. But the scene where like Daffy Duck and Porky Pig hijacked a train and like took the conductor hostage just so that they could like almost crash it and save the day. That part was pretty funny. And Superman has to stop the train from going into an orphanage because that's what the track ends.
Yeah, but I don't think Porky wanted to. Daffy was the one who wanted to get a seat on the Justice League. I just think Porky was going along for the ride.
Yeah. But it was pretty funny. It was also funny how like
Porky Pig's rap, where he imitated.
His rap was kind of dumb, but it was funny because he starts out stuttering like he's not going to be able to do it, and then he like raps perfectly. That part was funny.
It was kind of cringeworthy, but funny at the same time. And he was doing an impression of the Notorious B.I.G. I think he was the man that killed Tupac.
Yeah. Anyway, it was funny how, like, the DC world, how, like, half of it is Metropolis and half of it is Gotham. And then, like, they also rush past, like, Atlantis and the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's worth watching. It is. Like I said, I didn't watch it for LeBron James, and I didn't watch the first one for Michael Jordan. So
Michael Jordan has more character and charisma than LeBron James, though.
yeah, but like LeBron James, like he came out like making fun of everybody who hates this movie. Fuck off, LeBron. Nobody watched this movie for you, okay? Just shut the fuck up and dribble. And it's pretty ironic that character LeBron is more humble than real life LeBron. Anyway, that's our take on this movie. Talk to you later.